Everyone, it's Miss O'Donnell. So today we're going to be starting the final version of our projects. So far we've been doing each part separately in exit tickets. Today you're going to start putting it all together in the final version, which is going to be a slideshow. So hopefully you remember seeing this slideshow from the first day when I introduced the project. So you can, I'm going to give you a template that you can use. You can also do something completely different, whatever you want to do. I just want to give you somewhere to start if you don't really know where to start. So here's what my project looks like. You have your title page, just so I know whose project it is. Then part one was describing the service. So you did this in your exit ticket. You can use the exact one that you used. I'm going to show you how to access all your old exit tickets in just a minute. So you're going to describe what your service is and why you picked it. You're going to give me your design. So this is my design from Desmos. Here's my coordinates and what my two shapes are. And then we had to prove slope. So here's me proving the slope of my parallelogram. Here's the work that you guys did on Monday. And then here is your description of how this work proves that my shape was a parallelogram. And the way you're going to get this information is I attach this, the proof requirement. So since I had a parallelogram, I would go down here. In order to be a parallelogram, the slopes had to have opposite sides have parallel slopes. Adjacent sides do not have perpendicular slopes. So here I proved that my opposite sides were parallel. Parallel means the same. So I had 0 and 2 and 2. Those are both the same. And then not perpendicular means that they're not opposite reciprocals. So 0 and 2 are not opposite reciprocals. So therefore I proved that this was a parallelogram. You can take this information right from here, just put it into like a paragraph instead of bullet points. That's totally fine. So then I do my second shape, which was my isosceles triangle. The shape is an isosceles triangle because two sides have opposite slopes. So I have -3/2 and +3/2. So that proves it's an isosceles triangle. Again, I got that right from that chart. Then I proved my distances. This is what you did yesterday. So using my same shape, I used the distance formula. So here's my parallelogram. I proved that it's a parallelogram because opposite sides are equal distances. So I had 8 and 8, and then 4.47 and 4.47. So opposite sides were the same. And then my isosceles triangle proves that two sides were equal and one was not. So I had two that were 7.21 and one that's 8. So that proves that it's an isosceles triangle. So that's what you did yesterday. And it's just putting it all together in one thing. Then I'm done. I added this picture. You don't have to. So you're going to start doing that today. It is not due today. So this is your culminating activity. So next week, starting on Wednesday, you're going to have your culminating activities for all your classes. So Wednesday is period 1 and 2. Thursday is period 3 and 4, and Friday is period 5 and 6. So whatever class period you have geometry, that's what day your project is due. So if you're in my first or second period, it's due on Wednesday. If you're on my third or fourth period, it's due on Thursday. And if you're on my fifth or sixth period, it's due on Friday. So you have today, you have next Monday and Tuesday to work on it. So that's 3 whole class days plus your culminating activity day. So you have about like 3.5 school days to work on this. I recommend doing it in parts. So today I would just do your cover slide and your service, and that's probably enough just for the first day. Maybe if you want to also do your design, I wouldn't overwhelm yourself. So I gave you access to this sheet, which has all the proof requirements. So what you have to prove about your slopes, what you have to prove about your distances for each shape. So a lot of you picked squares or rectangles. You just have to prove that opposite sides are parallel and adjacent sides are perpendicular. So a lot of you, that's proving that you have 0 slopes and undefined slopes. So remember, 0 and undefined are perpendicular. And then proving about the distances. So this is the slideshow I gave you. It'll take you to this where you just make a copy. You don't have to use this. This is optional. So you can just go on here and you can like change some of the stuff, like change this for Miss O'Donnell. You can like change the colors and the fonts, make it a little bit more like creative for you, and then you just add your different things. So you can literally leave it like this right in your service, put your design in. You can upload it from your computer, so you should have your images still saved. And if you don't have them saved, what you can do is in your email, I know you guys are probably overloaded with emails right now, but if you go into this search bar and type released, Sorry, released. It should bring up all of my release scores. So instead of saying me, it'll say F. O'Donnell. And then, so say I go here to my service and I can view it. And then I added feedback to most of your things. So here, like these were both good. So I checked them off. That means I think your service is pretty good. You can go to your Desmos Day 2, which was your design, where you guys uploaded it. And so I gave you some feedback. So here's your design. Output your feedback will be right here. So it might say like, hey, this is really great. Like I love it. Or maybe like, these are both rectangles. Make sure you change one of them to a square, or this is actually an isosceles triangle, not a scalene or not a equilateral triangle. So just look here for the feedback and make sure you adjust. Because if you do exactly what you did and I told you that it was wrong, you're going to lose points. But I've tried to give you some good advice on how to fix it. And then like your slopes. So a lot of you made like really little mistakes in your slopes. So I would have put it right here. So it would say like, hey, like make sure that you know that 5 divided by 0 isn't 5, like it's actually undefined. So just little things like that. So go through my old exit tickets, make sure you look at the advice, start your project today. Again, you do not have to do the entire thing today. You have over 3 days to work on it. I would just do a couple of the slides. There will be an exit ticket in Google Classroom just as and like an attendance tracker. So it's just going to be one question. It's going to be, I don't know, do you understand your requirements for the final project? And then you just answer it, and then that'll just count as your attendance. And then you'll just work on a couple slides of your project. Monday, I'm going to recommend doing your like slopes, and then maybe Tuesday doing your distances, and then you'll be done your project. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions about what you're supposed to be doing, also this link right here will take you right to the proofs page. So if you have any questions about what you're supposed to be doing, just send me an email or join me for office hours. This is going to count as your coding activity. So this is 10% of your final grade. If you have been doing all the exit tickets and you look at my feedback and you fix any little mistakes you have and put it in your final project, I don't see why you shouldn't get a 4.0, which should boost your grade up a lot just at this last little part of the year. So good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.